This is a $400 keyboard, and I'm going to be seeing if it's worth it to spend this much money on a keyboard. This is the AKKO MU01 from Geek, and let's open it up. Off the bat, you get some nice packaging, and opening up the box, you get the keyboard. Now, I do want to say this keyboard doesn't come with keycaps. The one I put on are from a different board, but they happen to match the case, so I just threw them on. Included in the box, you'll get the standard stuff you get with a keyboard, like a user's manual, some extra screws and an Allen key, a Bluetooth transmitter, a coiled cable, and a switch and keycap puller. Now, the first thing I noticed about this keyboard is the weight. It weighs nearly 5 pounds, and the case is fully aluminum, giving it that premium feel. The back of the keyboard has a rose gold plate with the AKKO logo engraved on it, giving it the high quality look. This keyboard also features a 360 knob, which you can use to control the volume and brightness of the keyboard. The knob is high quality and made from aluminum as well, and compared to my other keyboard, the knob is a lot larger. The case is easy to open up, making it easy to do any mods and upgrades to this board. Moving on to the inside of the board, opening it up is simple. You use the Allen key provided and you're able to take the top cover right off, exposing the PCB and gold plate. Taking a look under the PCB, you get some foam to help dampen the sound. And basically what this does is it helps the keyboard sound a lot better and more premium, as keyboards that don't have foam usually sound a lot worse. Under the foam there's a battery which is placed flush with the case, and it's a lot bigger than normal, which means more battery life and you won't have to charge it that often. One of the best benefits of this keyboard is the switches it comes with. On your average keyboard you usually get either 3-pin mechanical switches or 5-pin, and sometimes even membrane. On the other hand, this keyboard comes with magnetic switches, which are the best switches you could have. They sound and feel similar to mechanical switches but offer so many customization options. When you have mechanical switches, your actuation depends on the switch you have, with certain switches having less actuation. And with magnetic switches, you can control the actuation, either giving you no delay at all when clicking your keyboard or a much longer delay. And basically what actuation is it depends on the distance the key registers on your computer. With less actuation, as soon as you slightly touch the key, it'll register on your computer. But when you have more actuation, you have to make the key go halfway or at least all the way down for it to register. In my opinion, this feature is really insane. You would have the fastest response time when playing games, and can switch the actuation back to normal if you're writing or working. The driver allows you to customize the actuation and set a bunch of other things. The actuation can be lowered so much so that if you lightly tap the key, it'll register right away. It also has loads of different modes, like comfort, sensitive, and gaming. The gaming mode gives you 0.1mm of actuation, letting you type with no delay. It gives you the advantage of having zero delay on your keyboard and lets your key register as soon as you lightly touch the key. And if you're not a gamer, the comfort mode is great for typing or working. You can also customize a ton of other things, like dynamic keystroke, toggle key, and mod tap. And this keyboard has an onboard memory, so you don't have to have the software open if you want your customization settings to be saved. It's all saved right on the board the moment you click apply. And these features are really interesting, as you usually don't get them on other boards. Now, this keyboard has the features of every single keyboard but packed into one. You can connect it by Bluetooth, 2.4 GHz, USB-C, and it's wireless and has a battery. And I forgot to mention, this keyboard's also Hotswappable, but since you can change the actuation, you'd basically never need any other switches besides for the sound. Now, moving away from the board for a minute, I had to point out the quality on the coiled cable. Unlike most coiled cables, it's not braided. It's actually coated in rubber, which in my opinion not only looks a lot better, but also feels better. It's also a pretty long cable, so you won't have the issue of it being too short. When stretched out, the cable goes right back into the coil position, so it'll stay coiled up no matter how much you stretch it. One thing I really liked about this keyboard is definitely the quality. I mean, for $400, this thing lives up to the price. This keyboard is probably the highest quality keyboard I've ever owned, and I have like 15 other keyboards. You can also just feel the quality of this keyboard. Now, it might sound a bit weird, but typing on this keyboard feels so much better than all of my keyboards. The metal does a good job of dampening the switches, making it sound so much smoother and creamier. The only thing I didn't like about this keyboard is how easily it collects dust. I don't know if you can notice in the other clips, but this keyboard collects dust so quickly, and this is just because the metal is really dark and makes the dust stand out. And another thing I wasn't a fan of was how this keyboard didn't come with keycaps. Paying $400, you should be getting keycaps with the keyboard, but aside from that, I think this keyboard's great. I've been using the board for nearly a month before making this review, and I have to say this is probably one of the highest quality keyboards I've ever owned. The design, weight, and the feel of the board are all top notch. And this is a $400 keyboard, so you're definitely getting top quality compared to other brands. And to end off this video, here's the part you've all been waiting for, a sound test.